Life is full of work and stress. Parenting can be a mess. Being a woman is hard enough without adding on that extra stuff. We'll cover topics of every kind. Helpful resources we will find. We'll even drink a bottle of wine. Join us. It will be a real good time.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm not really Nikki because somehow we lost all the audio on this recording. And we're Working Mom's Whine, where we drink a bottle of wine and whine about our stressful, busy working mom lives and try to improve yours. And even though all the audio was lost, I'm going to try to fill in the blanks. So here goes. So I have another wine from Defiance Ridge Winery. It's a sweet red called Cypress Hill. No, not that Cypress Hill. This is literally a hill of cypress trees with a cute barn that incorporates the cypress wood. The wine has notes of cherry cola, sweet cherries, and bubblegum, and it's so good. It is definitely one of my favorites, and Nikki also really enjoyed this one. Okay, so on to the whining bit. Today we are whining about how difficult it is to maintain friendships as moms, whether or not you're working. It's difficult. It is difficult AF, and we're going to whine about that, but you're not going to be able to hear any of it. So instead, you get my best impersonation of Nikki. Yeah, I totally agree. Everything you say is always right, and this is no exception, Amanda. It can be very difficult to make plans with your friends as a parent, especially one who works. I can't tell you how many times I make plans and then feel guilty backing out. That's right, Nikki, and we know they understand, but I'm still going to give them my excuse no matter what they say. Yeah, and I probably say stuff here about how much I totally agree with my always right sister on everything she's saying, and it's just so hard to keep these friendships going when kids get sick or other things happen that make you have to cancel. Yeah, I actually ran into an old friend at a custard stand, and she recognized me via my redheaded kids, and we ended up hanging out a little bit while the kids were eating their ice cream. And it's actually a mutual friend, and Nikki got so jealous because neither of us has seen this person in a good couple of years, and we only live 15 minutes apart, if that. That's how difficult it can be to find the time to get together. Okay, so super bad impressions of Nikki aside, other than her telling me that I'm always right, because we all know that that's exactly how that happens. We go on to talk about how, you can try to make plans and then something will come up or a kid will get sick. And I whine a bit about how I've been trying to hang out with a friend of mine, and every time there's an event where we're trying to get together, I either can't get away from having to watch one of my kids while they're napping, or there's some other family obligation going on that I forgot about. Like, she just had a bachelorette party over Memorial Day weekend, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll be able to go, but I had forgotten we made plans to hang out with family, so I had to cancel on her again. And we're both always afraid that our friends are going to be upset, but we know that they completely understand, because they are also oftentimes working parents who run into the same issues, but that doesn't make it any easier. So one of the things that we end up talking about is how much we like Marco Polo when we're trying to stay in touch with friends. Basically, Nikki has a bunch of friends that are scattered around the States, and there's even one who lives in Ireland now. And one of the main ways that they stay in touch is through an app called Marco Polo. And the nice thing about Marco Polo is it's not like FaceTime where you're doing it live. You get to record the message and send it to others. But the not nice thing is a lot of the things that were free on that app you now have to pay for. So Nikki tends to leave very long polos, and it can be very handy to use 2 times speed on her sometimes. She admitted that. You can ask her yourself. I'm not just saying this because I'm the only one with a mic right now and I can say whatever I want. But you have to be willing to pay for features like that now. And sometimes when she's trying to talk to her friends, they might not be able to respond, or she might not be able to get on there as often as she likes, but it is one way that they try to keep their friendship in touch. Okay, so another unexpected perk of losing all your audio and having to voice over some of it instead is I get to leave moments like this in when Nikki totally interrupts my important story with a sneeze. So I promised her I would cut it out, and I'm not going to. Here you are. See what I mean? Just complete and utter disregard for the fact that I was talking. Like she's acting like you can't help sneezing or something. Another way that we talked about using to keep in touch with some of our friends is through Facebook Messenger. So there's a group of us from high school that we call the Bug Club. You can find out about that story another time maybe. We all talk to each other through Facebook Messenger, and a lot of us live fairly close to each other, but there is one that lives a few hours away, and it's very handy to be able to stay in touch that way and find out what's going on in each other's lives. But also, if anyone who's a little further out is coming to visit, they can let us know through Messenger, and then we can see if we can coordinate something there. So Facebook Messenger and Marco Polo are both very handy options to have. It would also be really fun to hear what you guys use when you're staying in touch with your friends and you can't always meet face to face, or if there is a way that you make a point to meet face to face that you find works really well for you. Feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know about that. So then we decided that we were going to whine about cicadas. For those of you who are living under a rock and haven't noticed, there is a huge brood of cicadas that just came out. And if you're really lucky, you're actually caught in between two of them right now. They come out every 13 years, and I think every 17 years. So the 13-year brood is the one that we are dealing with. And my sister is lucky enough to have a tree in her backyard that is just chock full of these guys. As she put it, it exploded. So she's taking her daughter to school one day, and when she grabs her gate to get out the backyard, she wraps her hand around a piece of wood to pull the gate out. And the cicadas decided to swarm them as they were trying to leave, and she tried to swat one away, and her hand got stuck, and luckily she only pulled a muscle, but she hurt her hand trying to deal with all that, and her daughter's freaking out and screaming and trying to get away from all the cicadas that are swarming them. And I said, speaking of exploding trees, if we had any cicadas on ours, they're definitely dead now, because we had a storm a couple weeks ago where a lightning bolt hit the tree and it broke off a huge portion of the tree and everything. And then a couple weeks later, we had another round of storms, and the same exact tree got hit by lightning and now has another branch hanging down. My husband went out and cleaned up the first branch and broke it all up and everything, and now we have another section of the tree that we have to deal with. So, not sure what's up there, but if there were any cicadas on my tree, they are all now definitely fried. And then I may have spent a few minutes talking about how we went to the in-laws, because it's Memorial Day weekend, so we do hope that you were able to enjoy your Memorial Day and think about all the sacrifices that people have made to keep our country safe, and that you were able to get together and spend some time with family, or whatever the perfect Memorial Day looks like to you. But what we did was we went to visit our in-laws, and the day after we recorded this, we went to visit our parents. But while we were at the in-laws, the kids decided they wanted to go fishing. So they went fishing, and we figured out that if you... actually, I'm going to put a disclaimer on here. If you're any kind of squeamish, don't listen to this next part. Okay, I've given you plenty of time. I'm not going to feel sorry for you in a minute. So we would catch the cicadas and put them on the fish hook, and the fish loved it. My 13-year-old was like, every 13 years, fishing gets easier. So they were able to catch a lot of fish, and they had a lot of fun eating the fish that they had caught. but you know, they didn't have to help out with the cleaning, so that's probably why they enjoyed it so much. I did also talk a little bit about our Survivor small group wrap up at work. I made it to the final four, but they actually had us build fire to get third place, and guess what? Your girl does not know how to build a fire. So it was also complicated by the fact that since we were doing this in a parking lot, they laid out some Reynolds wrap foil pans to make sure that everything was contained, but that made it very hard to stack the wood in a way that would burn the string. So I got beat out on that, and it was a lot of fun to play jury and ask some questions of the final three. We did pick a winner, and now I'm just waiting for the one based around traders to start. So I look forward to that being just as fun as the Survivor one was. Oh, and we got a couple of cameos for the people who put the Survivor group together. The girl who basically acted as Jeff for us told us who her favorite Survivor was earlier in the year. Like, they sneakily asked her, oh, you know, who's your favorite? And so we got a cameo from her, and that was a lot of fun. In her cameo, she's like, so you do this at work? Is your boss okay with this? Wait, are you the boss? When you vote people off, do you fire them? Like, it was really funny. And then the other girl who helped put it together, she's the one heading up the group for traders. So they got her a video from Sari, and for those of you who don't know, Sari has been on Survivor, Big Brother, Traders. She's just all over the place. So she had a cameo where she was first talking to her about how cool the Survivor group was, and then how cool it is that she's about to do a Traders group. So I thought that was really neat. Yeah, so sorry about this abbreviated podcast. Not sure what happened with the sound. It figures the one time that I don't check it beforehand, it doesn't work for some reason. It's clearly not the microphone. It's working right now while I record these clips and try to patch them on here. So after that, we're gonna get together and record a regular one, and then we're probably gonna take a week off since 3 of our kids have recitals that weekend. So between the rehearsal and the actual recital, I don't imagine we're going to have time to get together and record. So we will be skipping a week, and then we'll be back as normal. I hope you guys have a wonderful summer. As always, you can find us on workingmomswine.com. We're on TikTok and Instagram. We're not always good about updating those, but we do have a presence there. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/workingmomswine. Please feel free to leave a comment with any topics you would like to see us cover, or, as I said, comments about how you manage to find time to get together with your friends, what you guys do when you can't get together, how you communicate in the meantime. We would love to hear it. We love new ideas, and we will see you next time. Bye!